That's an easy one. There's like ads on TV that I cry to. You kidding me?
When I fell on the structure and someone laughed at me.
Me and my girlfriend broke up the other day. It was really hard. We've been together a long time. I don't know, I hadn't cried in a long time, but I don't know, that really sucked.
I wouldn't say full out cry, but tears, I could feel the tears welling up, was last night. And more embarrassing than that was why I was watching the X Factor. And this young kid who's one of the last 120 to make the cut, and they were cutting it down to 60, and he comes out on stage to perform, and he just the nerves got to him, forgot his lines, and he was like 13, 14 years old, and he just started panicking. And after he was done, he walks off stage, and he's just like he's about to crumble, and they flip between him and his mother. His mother's there looking for him, and the mother reunites with him and just embraces him, and I just felt really warm. It was a warm feeling.
Like literally like
That's not good enough.
balls out crying?
Yes.
Oh my God, last time I wept like a baby. Does it count if I was drunk? No, it doesn't count.
I think it was probably when my father died.
How long ago was
He died in 2004. So it's probably been
that? 8 years.
8 years. I may have squeaked out a tear here and there since then, but I can't remember. I wish I could say I cried when my kids were born. There were some really overwhelmingly powerful emotions when they were born. I'm not sure that I cried, though. It's difficult. It's not something I do, It's not something I have done much growing up, and there's a whole story behind that.
I cried about something that really took me a long time to get over was when my grandma died.
So it was just a few weeks ago. I had one of my crises of meaning. Just I do a lot of work. I think I work fairly well at what I do, but just every once in a while it hits me, why am I doing it? And I don't really perceive a long-term goal or a mission or meaning or anything in my life. So I just keep working to keep working, and partly just not to think about why I'm doing it. But once in a while I can't help but think about why I'm doing it. And a couple of weeks ago I did this, and I broke down, and it felt good. I cried for a few minutes and then dried my eyes and kept working. Didn't figure anything out, but it was good. It was good.
Well, August 29th, 2002 is when my wife and I had a baby, but he was stillborn with an umbilical cord accident. And I just remember watching that on the ultrasound there and holding her hand and just really crying with abandon. It was the very beginning of a lot of healing.
Corvallis, Oregon, about a month ago. We were at this, some friends and I went up to this spiritual retreat they had up there called the Wild Goose Festival, and we attended among a million other things we did, we went to a Shabbat service. A Jewish rabbi was doing kind of an outreach thing, and during Shabbat he was talking about how much he missed his family, and he started to tear up talking about how much he missed his family. He liked to do Shabbat with his family on Fridays at his home, but he was with us, and it made me think about how much I missed my family, and I got to crying.
Geez, you know what? Actually, like literally choking on my own cry was probably the day that my cat died. 1994, and it was incredibly tragic, and it was brutal.
That's almost 20 years ago.
I know. Like that was like the choking on my own, like vomit cry. Well, no, I've cried, just not like having to catch my breath cried.
But probably when my father died, he went in for surgery. He was a doctor, and he had aortic valve replacement. And the surgery was supposed to go good. Everybody was very confident about it. It was supposed to take a couple hours. And 10 hours later, he died on the table. And then when we went to see him shortly after he died in this little holding room where they keep him, I lost it. And pretty much for the next several days, it was tears central. It was tough. I mean, it was necessary, and I'm glad I did that, because if I didn't, I think I probably would have exploded.
It was good for her to pass away, but it was excruciating to watch my grandpa.
2000? 2000. We cried when my grandmother died. It's pretty sad. But it's certainly not something that, so I like tear up sometimes, but actually crying, it's not frequent.
So that's like a decade ago.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you don't generally cry?
No.
Maybe a good idea if you cry more.
I don't know. It's not something I like strive for or anything. I mean, I'm not against it.
I've been crying since last September about the Red Sox, but seriously crying, without going into a lot of detail about it, I lost my oldest daughter when she was just short of her 31st birthday. And she's been gone for almost, it'll be 10 years in April. She's buried at Mount Auburn Cemetery in Cambridge, and so, you know, I'm there quite often, usually on a weekly basis. And as much as time has gone by and things are supposed to get easier, they never do. So when I go to the cemetery and visit her and talk to her, I'm pretty much crying. And it doesn't get any better.
I cried was when, I think when I was playing with my cousins and ran, I was charging at my cousin and he was going the other direction so I couldn't see him, and the person dodged it and we ran into each other.
That's totally fine. No, literally, my cat died in a clothing dryer. It was fucked up.
Well, I stumbled from that bar room, not so tall and not so proud, and I still can hear the laughter of that rotten crowd. But my eyes still see and my nose still works and my teeth are still in my mouth. So you know, I guess that makes me a winner. Yeah, you know, I guess that makes me a winner. Yeah, that makes me a winner.